perspective on her, and I also have some background bio information on her. But I'll just tell some quick stories as to why I like Jessica Cruz. I have a little rendition of her quoting the Green Lantern Oath, right? In brightest day and blackest night, let no evil escape my sight. Okay, hold on. Let all those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. Okay, so thank you guys. Category cat mo tenor. So this is supposed to be the Blackest Night comic book read. Hi Malibu, hello, welcome, welcome. So I actually did my left eye today. I'm actually missing my gloves, so I need to put that on. Okay, so let's get into it. Oh, thank you guys. So welcome to the astrological new year. I am very enamored of the Green Lanterns. I do love the whole concept, the symbolic meaning of the lanterns. I love stories in general and comic books in general as well. Thanks, you guys. Okay, so let's get the gloves on because I still am working on making my own lantern ring. This is actually UV as well. I was going to try to do this in UV light, but that would make it hard to actually read the comic book. So what we're going to do is, Punisher's my guy. I like Punisher. My sister actually does this like female version of the Punisher cosplay. So we're going to have all of our characters play together a little bit more coming up in the new production schedule, so stay tuned for that. But this has been a read that has been a long time coming. It's taken me a while to get this together. What the heck is going on here with my gloves? Is this right? Okay, got it. So I'm going to read you some background on Jessica Cruz, who is known as the first Green Lantern of this sector, and so I'm very proud to call you this sector my sector of protection, right, in the universe. And if you're not familiar with the Green Lantern, oh my goodness, this glove is not right. Oh, this is because this is not on correctly. Well, there we go. Hello, yes. You know what? So I'm currently in the city right now, Toronto, and my birthday is not too far away. I'm turning 40, you guys. So now that we're in Aries season, I realized some stuff about myself astrologically. So if you are born on, let's say, so my granny this year, she's turning 100 and I'm turning 40. So I was born in 1985 and my granny was born in 1925, right? Because it's 2025 now, right? So if you were born on, like, let's say 1960, 1965, 1970, 1975, you are going to end up with something that's known as a Pluto and Pluto square. So I am going through my Pluto and Pluto square right now because Pluto is currently in Aquarius, which is a fixed sign. I was born with Pluto in Scorpio, and so that creates a square, right? Because those are two fixed signs, and those energies almost have tension. That's what we kind of call it in astrology, or this state of like challenge, right? But you do need some squares. Like too many trines is boring, right? I was born in 1925. Fossil, really? Holy moly, we should have some talks about it. But if you were born in 1975, 1995, 2000, you're all, I'll leave a link after this conversation just about where you can find it, because this conjunction is quite intense. It deals with a lot of like changes and transformations. When is the birth? Oh my goodness. So I will be having a big 40th birthday party in Toronto. So stay tuned for where that's going to be. And I'll hopefully DJ during it. It'll be like my birth, right? The birth of DJ Supernova. Oh my gosh. What a great way to put it. So I'll figure out a good venue. I kind of want to do it in an arcade, you know? Like maybe Tilt will let me do it there. So we'll see. I have a couple places, couple venues I have in mind. Maybe I'll do it at a comic book store, right? We can like shut it down after hours. We can like set up a DJ booth, and we can have some dancers, cosplay shows, cosplay like performances, maybe some live readings. Maybe I can get some of the cool cosplay people to like fly in. So that would be cool. Oh, I would love that, Destine Carabine. Any of you dancers will do a dance circle, you guys. Have you guys seen Soul Train? uh, or whenever you do like, yeah, Soul Train. I don't know. Is there another name for that? When you like you have two lines of people and you like dance down the center? Like Footloose did that. Anyways, I'm a big. I want to make my own dance movie, and so uh, I there's a difference between dance movies and musicals, even though those things can be the same thing. But I'm open to you guys, like, let's really start to tell our stories in more fantastical ways. And so, Jessica Cruz, if you're not familiar with her, I'm going to pull up some of her bio just so I don't misspeak, because you guys are very, how should I say it? Comic book literate. And to me, like, I've had quite a few breakthrough psychedelic journeys, and a lot of what I've gotten, like, you know, when you get like messages or downloads or whatever you want to call it, and you're like, oh, that makes so much sense. And you're like, I can save the world. And then you like think about it later, like, that made no sense. It's like when you have notes to yourself, oh, Drew, thank you for that little Bambi. Line dancing, oh my gosh. Destine Carabine, you are speaking my language. Line dancing. We can do some Footloose stuff. Oh my gosh. I love it. Cody, I used to live in Calgary, and my dad lived in Cabbagetown and Wasaga. Did you guys hear that they're tearing down Wasaga Beach? Like, holy cow, this city, like, I moved out to this city in 2007 from the prairies, Winnipeg, Manitoba. A prairie girl. I'm hopefully going to be doing, there's a stage in Winnipeg called the Rainbow Stage. It's like this outdoor stage. And I have this hope, this might be cutting it tight with timelines, but for summer solstice, perhaps having something called Atlantis Electric Circus, and then have like this musical journey through the astrological wheel and performed by people who are that sign, right? And so it's a way of like embodying what the energy is of like who you are and what you're like as the character on the stage of life. And so this really meta way of looking at storylines, right? Oh yeah, and yes, thank you again, Drew, for that. Shabazz, I'm not doing a battle or any co-hosting just yet. I have to do a read, so I'm on a timeline. I don't want to be up too late because I have to get my schedule out to you guys as to the different characters coming up, as well. I have my own comic book that I'm working on called The Dragon Warriors. Yeah, and it's based on Macintosh too, because basically that, how should I put it? I got to grow up with computers at a very young age because my dad was a professor at the University of Manitoba, so I got, the internet in the early 90s. I really miss the old internet, by the way. So let's go back to Jessica Cruz origins. I was going off on a tangent, and I just wanted to bring some, like, one of my friends who also loves comic books, like, she's a girlfriend of mine she more watches like the animated stuff, and so myself and my hubby have started watching Crisis on Infinite Earths, the animated version of it, because I've read the comic book multiple times because it came out in 85, and so I feel like there's messages in it encoded for me. But hold on. So Jessica Cruz origin story. I have some other things. Origins. So she originally goes through this traumatic I'm just gonna look her up. I don't think she's been done live action though, but I do like some of her voice actresses. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the DC database. I have them on my Discord as well, just to make sure we're all speaking canon. Let's see. I'm gonna flip to the screen if you guys are watching my screen share. All right. So, I almost died fighting alongside the Justice League. I lost one ring, and then I got another, even though there's already something like 4 lanterns from Earth. But why? Yeah, so there's a lot of lanterns that come from Earth, even though this, like, the universe is a big place, right? Hey, Hercules the Real. So here, I still try to hold, we gotta still hold on, guys. No worries, trust me, I have very prophetic dreams in terms of, like, it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Gandalf in the Two Towers, which is like my favorite part of that whole Lord of the Rings, is like when you're like, we think it's all lost, but like backup's coming, magical assistance is on its way. Trust me. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I just know that it's coming. All right. Jessica Cruz inherited the ring of the crime syndicate's power ring. So it's interesting because the crime syndicate was in the animation I was watching, and they're like from Earth 3, and like Ultraman and Superwoman, and they're all like evil. And it's funny because Flash comes and visits, and he makes this joke being like, how can you be the government and rule over everything and yet be criminals at the same time? And they don't really give him an answer, but that's kind of like the way this world works. They just laugh. They're like, oh, like, you're silly. And Flash, bless him, he's so sweet. Okay, and Green Lantern and Flash are besties, or they have a little... I'll actually show you guys the comic books we're going to be reading. We're not going to read all of them. I'll let you guys choose which of the three we'll actually read out loud tonight. I'm going to read you a segment of one that I think is important for us to know as a human family, because I do think embedded within the comic books, like, when you buy a book or any movie or any sort of artwork, especially ones that you engage with, it goes unlocked until you bring the magic to it, right? Until you read it. Like, even reading Cliff's Notes of something is not going to be the same as you actually reading and being in the story, like relating to the characters, really like crying over things when a character dies. You're like, why? Live with CDP, hi, how's it going? And Volcom, hey, how's it going? Welcome to my Green Lantern read. It's been a little while. I'm just doing some background bio on Jessica Cruz, who I'm cosplaying as tonight. And I look at Jessica Cruz as final girl material. So, because her origin goes like this. Jessica Cruz went on a hunting trip with her friends and unfortunately came across some mobsters who were burying a body. So, unwilling to have witnesses, as so it is, the mobsters shot and killed Jessica's friends while Jessica herself managed to escape. But she was extremely traumatized by the incident. So it sounds like, like when you watch horror movies, like I used to love Scream. Scream was like my favorite movie in like junior high, like me and my friends at the time, because it just came out at the time. And like Skeet Ulrich, and I remember watching Riverdale, and like me and my friends were like, wow, you're old when you love the dads in the show. R.I.P. Luke Perry. I know, long time no see. I've been doing a lot more DJing. My hubby's been teaching me how to DJ. So as I said, my 40th birthday is coming up April 24th. And we are moving out of the city very soon. But I'm going to use my 40th birthday as like my goodbye to the city, I guess. Yeah. Like, and also like a way to celebrate a new beginning, right? So, and that's really the theme of what's been going on in the cosmos right now, how you step into the new. Mine is the 11th of April. That's cool, antisocial. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday to us. So I'm not entirely certain yet. I feel like me and Mr. Golden Era, or rather my hubby, rather Caduceus, all of our different aliases. I have a lot of big dreams as it comes to production and radio waves and things like that. So I'm probably moving back home to Winnipeg for a little bit to tie up some loose ends, because my story about the Dragon Warriors begins there, right? And so it's funny, I've written so much about the Dragon Warriors, like in terms of now, like the story I wrote when I was 14, I went back to my old hometown. Like I went back, 2022, I think. We went back, and my dad like keeps everything, bless him. I was in the basement and I found my old manuscript, but it was only part 2 of that book, and it was in like a Hilroy scribbler. I have it here somewhere. Oh, yes, it's here. Here, I'll show you. Okay. But it's only part 2, right? So remember these scribblers? So it's part 2 of the Dragon Warrior. So I took it, and like 14-year-old me but I had already printed and made this out. And my friend Jen, who's now a naturopath. She was like, I think I have a copy of that story somewhere, Ray. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Uh, doesn't have one. They wear masks. That's not true, God. They've got different ones. And Guy Gardner, I don't think, wears a mask. Some of the Green Lanterns don't wear masks at all. It depends on you. But Jessica Cruz herself has her left eye, her monocle, so she can see through the evil, right? Ryan, oh my gosh, let's not talk about that Green Lantern movie. I just own it. I don't really like Ryan Reynolds, you guys. And he married a mean girl. I'm really sad about Blake Lively and all the stuff that came out about her because, pretty girls shouldn't be mean. Oh, thanks, Dee. Okay, so back to Jessica Cruz. I was saying that she's kind of like a final. That's why I was going off on a tangent. I was talking about Scream. And me and my friends back in the day used to make movies, like our own little home movies, because I had like a VHS camcorder. And we reenacted Scream, like in the beginning, where like, hello, Sydney, and like, I'm screaming. You have to have a good screaming voice. But I do think screaming, there's something there about releasing your throat chakra, being able to like, there's something like, am I from Winnipeg? I am from Winnipeg. Yeah. I'm from Winnipeg. I moved out to Toronto in 2007, but I've traveled the world somewhat, I guess. I've been to Vegas a few times. I got married in Mexico. I've been to Mexico a few times. I've also visited South Africa for work, and I went through, where was it? I went through somewhere where they thought I was like Nicki Minaj. It was so funny. I live there now. What made me move to Toronto? Oh, you know what? When you grew up in Winnipeg and you're like, there's like a small, big city, right? Everyone knows you. I was going through a rough time. I basically like went through a death of myself in Winnipeg and like recreated myself in Toronto. It was almost like everyone knew your business in Winnipeg. So like I was going through a breakup at the time, and I don't even want to say who my ex-boyfriend was because perhaps people may know him. And then it was just a rough time separating that, right? So coming back and rewriting my book and retranscribing it and like working out a lot of the logical plot holes that my 14-year-old self, I guess, hoped that I would figure out now. So I've gone back to the beginning. The only thing left right now for the Dragon Warriors to be written is the very beginning. And I think I know now how to write it. Now, when it comes to Jessica Cruz, I vibe with her a lot just because she's the first female member of the Green Lantern Corps of this sector. I think 2814. And the way she gets the ring is that she ends up getting chosen by the Ring of Volhum, right? After its former bearer, Hal Jordan of Earth 3, was killed by Sinestro. So unlike the king's predecessors, the ring forced itself upon Jessica and took over her body. Under the influence of the ring, she attacked her hometown and was confronted by the Justice League and Doom Patrol. Through the intervention of Batman, Jessica was able to overcome the ring's influence. Oh, Batman coming to the rescue. Jessica was able to overcome the ring's influence when he told her that he was a victim like her and that finding strength even at their worst moment of despair will overcome their fears. Hey, Keaton, long time no see. How are you? I hope you're all feeling activated. Happy New Year, you guys. Also, happy Aries season. Yeah, Hercules the real. Like, Batman pretends like he doesn't care, but he really cares deep down. That's why he's got to wear all that armor and cape stuff. Okay, so Jessica was able to overcome the ring's influence. So it's this transmutation of fear into stepping into yourself, right? So I think about this, like, it's like final girl material. Like, horror as a genre is like, some of my friends are like, oh, I don't like horror, but I do like horror. I love, because, like, to be scared, right? I look at it as, like, psychic training, right? Because if you can, like, not stupid things like jump scares, but, like, being able to work through, like, not being so fearful, not letting yourself, like, fall into this autopilot of, like, being fearful. And that's where the lanterns are a very much I guess they're like the balance when it comes to the entire emotional spectrum. So the Green Lanterns are not the only lanterns, right? You have the other lanterns, right? The Star Sapphires, which are love. You have the blue lanterns, which are hope. Indigo, which are compassion. Black is death. White is life. What am I missing? Orange is, I think, greed. And then, of course, fear is yellow, which Hellraiser is cheesy. You know what though? There's some interesting symbolism in there. Sometimes I love campy stuff. Sometimes, you know, where it's like I love John Carpenter stuff. John Carpenter's probably like the Thing, practical effects kind of stuff. Also, as I said, Scream. The first two Screams, where it was much more like you had two killers and stuff, and it was kind of subverting the genre. Okay, so I wanted to do, let's see here, Jessica Cruz stating the oath from the animated version. And if you're watching this on, let's see here, I don't know if I have this on YouTube. No, I have this on Beam if you're watching it on that.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power! Green Lantern's light! We've been...
Nice. Great job, Jessica. And there's some stuff about her origin story.
She is going to burn the world on fear.
So, our aura soul thing controls our
imagination, right? Let me see here. Is there something else here? Green Lantern's rebirth. After the Darkseid War, Jessica was kicked out of her apartment, and at the orders of Hal Jordan himself, to test her and another new Earth Green Lantern, Simon Baz. Okay, I'm not going to get into all of that story because we have a choice, because I'm actually going to read you guys some comic books today. So I'm going to come off of YouTube. All right. Thank you so much for watching on this side. You can get the full reads. I'm having them all cataloged and in my archived library. So you can get the full reads, not just the analysis and all that kind of